Here's the thing, I became a billionaire at the age of 20. No one in the history of the world has become a billionaire at such a young age like I have. And here's the thing, I'm not like one of these tech geeks or whatever. I haven't done it through like AI, I haven't done it through tech, I haven't done it through creating a new thing. No, I've just done it through marketing. Marketing is my bread and butter. Marketing is how I basically convey my message, get it out to a larger audience, do it through whether it's content, email, ads, whatever, you name it, I can do it. I'm the best at it, clearly. Look at me. I am the best marketer within Australia. So here's a little thing about me. I became a billionaire because I understood leverage and how I could actually show them from point A to point B where they can end up moving their money and be like, okay, cool. If you want to put your money into those sorts of ads, this is going to come out with this much ROAS, or this is going to basically be like this within this certain market, because they've got to understand their customer profile. That's the main thing, because that's where a lot of you guys get stuck at. You guys don't understand your customer profile and how the whole flow of cash and the whole flow of revenue goes. It's that simple. Once you break it down into simple complex concepts and actually be like, okay, point A to point B to point C to point D, this is how we do it. And you don't need any of these Franken funnels. All you need is just simple funnels, a great understanding of your client, a great understanding of your character, a great understanding of their positioning, which, I mean, took me like ages to learn, because I've been learning marketing since the age of like 12, 13, 14, since I pretty much got introduced to the internet, copywriting and all that sort of stuff. And if any of you guys actually want some help with me, just booking a call to see if it works. I don't really care, just do whatever. But yeah, so a little bit about me. So I actually started running a marketing agency way early back when marketing became like this sort of hit thing. So I've been running a marketing agency now for the last 5 years now, and let's just start back in 2016. No, not 2016. What time is it? 2020. Yeah, back when we had that whole swarm of events happen. Blah blah blah. I can't really say it, it's too early in the video. You'll understand what I'm talking about. The great little thing between 2020 and 2019. So that was like, okay, cool. Then I found this guy called Jason Capital online, and I'm like, what is he all about? And then he essentially introduced me to copywriting and DM appointment setting. So I ended up actually, funnily enough, not even realize I was doing DM appointment setting for the longest time. I was just like, okay, cool. I'm just setting stuff up, getting people to basically move from point A to point B, building up connections, and essentially networking, and doing all that sort of stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm getting a better network. I'm getting an understanding of the sales cycle. Unintentionally, I didn't even know that. That was before I started hiring my sales coaches. But I was like, okay, cool. I'm basically speaking to people, improving my network, because it's like I come from a little bit of a background where we do more so, not network sales, it's more so relationship sales. So I'm sort of like, okay, cool. I'm just building up these relationships with these people, messaging through Instagram, having access to more and more exclusive groups, more so, like obviously paid communities or members within those groups that are, difficult to get by. And obviously I had a few little, let's just say I've always been very good at talking my way into certain situations and being very good to persuade. This also all adds up anyway later on. So yeah, so pretty much I've been doing that for years and years and years. Then from there, I've also was like, okay, cool. I was doing that while I was learning copywriting, because essentially all you're doing is copywriting. Like, you write down the persuasion, you understand your customer profile, you understand their ideal of what their ideal values are, what their dreams, what their desires, what's their state that they never want to be back in, which is very, very important, especially when you're doing sales. As I said, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I just thought, hey, I'm just doing copywriting, trying to get from point A to point B. So that's back in 2020. Then from there, obviously I started doing content. I was still back in school. So I was doing content. I was trying to actually get low ticket sales from my teachers who actually had some small businesses, and they're like, no, I'm not gonna pay a 16-year-old to do my marketing, because obviously it's like that was my only audience that I was ever actually aware of. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, whatever. So I was just like, okay, cool. Let me try more people. And essentially, I just had to basically end up building up my own little flywheel, building everything forward more and more and more. So then it's like, you can gain more connections, and then you can possibly get people to buy from you. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing back then. So yeah, moving forward from there, I got actually introduced to the content game by everyone's favorite person. So Iman Ghazi actually introduced me to content, and actually under the actual direct name of social media marketing. So that's when I was like, okay, cool. I didn't actually realize you could make money from your phone. You can make money from social media. So then I started from there. Then I started to reach out to more people, being like, hey, I'm good at this. I'm good at persuasion. I'm good at basically conveying a message to a particular type of audience to get them to basically hand over their cash. No questions asked. Obviously, a sales rep would need to be there, given the size of the transactions. And it's like, okay, cool. Nothing happened. Like no big deal. I can do this with no sweat. I was only charging a few hundred at the time. I wasn't actually aware of it. Didn't actually work out very well. But that was also another thing. So I got introduced to then the content game. The content game was one of the best things I learned early on. As I said, I was literally 16, 17, let's just say 16 at that time. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I got my first taste of online business, which was incredible. I loved it. I'm like, okay, cool. So it makes more sense for me to run a online business than it is for me to actually, run a brick and mortar, do real estate, because I was heavily invested. I was like, all I did was buy books about was real estate back then. All I wanted to do was be a real estate agent, be a sales rep, and just end up buying houses. So then A, I can get the commission, B, I can get some more stuff sorted out. Like, obviously I own the house, I'm not going to go under all that complex stuff. That's obviously later on. That isn't my job, that isn't my role. I'm just a marketer. So yeah, I always wanted to be a real estate agent because I found it interesting on like how property and all that sort of stuff works. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me figure out a way how to get involved in it. So I did that. Because here's the thing, like my dad actually knew a few real estates in town, and we sort of like did like an interview. He sort of got like a gauge of me, where I'm at, where I need to be, what do I need to do, how do I need to then improve my skills, because I was also a very, very introverted kid at the time. I was like, okay, cool. Real estate investing, amazing. Real estate and trading, that's more so my bread and butter as well. As I said, it's just giving you guys a bit more outline on my story. So I was like, okay, cool. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it's just like, okay, cool. I'm going to give you access to this much capital. I expect you to trade with it. Given what your skill set is, I expect you're able to make this much a month. If you do, you get a cut, all that usual stuff. Like when you get a kid, they want to just basically dive deep and understand how all that sort of stuff works, which is actually pretty sick. So that's how I actually got technically my second sort of invitation to the online world. Then from there, I ended up basically just literally just grinding more and more and more, and just trying to be like, okay, cool. This is how I can get from here to here to here, and this is how I can then just, either make more capital on that trading account, because I was day trading during classes like legal, accounting, physics, all that sort of fun stuff. And I did completely liquidate my whole portfolio one time. But then I'm like, okay, cool. If this can happen to me, if I can lose my money in a matter of seconds, why don't I learn another skill? Because it's like, okay, cool. If I can lose my money at the click of the fingers, what's the problem to actually solve that? Hold on, give me a second. That might be a plover. I'm going to go the other way. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, cool. So if we have money put into the market, there's a possibility of you losing it all in like a second. Because we were playing with CFDs and all that sort of stuff. I would highly not recommend doing that. Especially for someone with no experience. But I'm like, okay, cool. That taught me the basics of market psychology and taught me how to, understand it. And then from there, I ended up building up my marketing agency from there because I'm like, okay, cool. If I can get the actual understanding of market psychology from trading, understanding of the sales through my DM setting, through wanting to become a real estate agent, and understanding how the asset flow actually goes and how the way that money moves. And also, as I said, I had a background. I've done content effectively my whole life. So I'm like, I've always been good at it. I've always been good on camera. I've always been good in that sort of stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Why don't I set it up as my goal from the ages of 17 to 21 to become a billionaire through a marketing agency? Like I'm currently in the process of doing. Like you guys see in the title, I already am one. But yeah, I kind of forgot to put mentally in the title, but who cares? Same thing anyway. So yeah. So I ended up growing that marketing agency, and then actually having access to that skill has then allowed me to put multiple different businesses, because me understanding the ideal customer has gave me a wider framework of different people's, different outcomes, like how different people live, how different people actually perceive the world. It's like, yeah, really sick. Like if you don't understand content, if you don't understand how to actually speak to camera or how to do stuff in certain ways, you're going to end up just being able to speak to no one. Because one of the biggest things I learned early on, I was trying to speak to everyone. I was honestly trying to speak to absolutely everyone I could and be like, okay, cool, I can sell you, I can sell you, I can sell you, I can sell you. But no, you're better off narrowing down in a certain niche. Like my main thing for my marketing agency is consultants, as well as for like trades as well, because trades are usually high ticket, like basically construction or people who actually like roofing jobs and or HVAC. They are my ideal customers. I've actually had a fair few of them, and they've been like the best clients that I've had, because especially they've got a lot more room that they can be like, yeah, I can spend this much, yeah, I can spend this much. This is going to then lower down this, and then going to make my bill easier, as well as we get income in after XYZ time. So yeah, these people are just the easiest way to work with, because either their business is majority cash or their jobs are ridiculous. Like if you ask any concreter, any roofer, or if you ask a guy who runs a HVAC business, because it's effectively a physical e-commerce business to an extent, minus off the service and repairs, sometimes their margins are wild depending on how they position it and how they actually deal with all their expenses and everything. And yeah, as I said, like either the clients with the largest margins or, you know, have been by far the best ones to deal with. So yeah, and that's also like me being able to understand what these guys' ideal customer has then allowed me to basically reach out to grow more businesses because of my marketing agency and my skills in marketing and sales. Because I mean, seriously, if you understand marketing, the world's your oyster. If you understand sales, you can knock on any door possible and get money. If you combine the two, like I have, because also I forgot to mention, I also had a sales job during the time when I started my first marketing agency. I've started two. My first one flopped, and my current one that I'm running at the moment is, yeah, doing like really, really well. So yeah, just book a call if you want to learn from me. I don't really care. But yeah, the thing is that marketing is the best skill that you can have. Marketing allows you to go from having, let's just say you have $1,000 in the bank. Once you understand it properly, you can go from $1,000 in the bank to possibly 3 to 5. And then you can then multiply it from there. Every single time, it's a game of multiples. Whereas if you're in sales, it's a game of single digits. It's not a game of multiples. That's the only problem. Think of it like this. If you were to invest into Bitcoin back in, when did it start? Like 2008? Marketing is effectively the same way for your business over a long enough time span. So yeah, that's the one thing that you people seriously don't understand, especially with the right positioning and with the right content for the ideal customer. You can make a boatload of money. There is businesses literally making $500,000 a month off of just their marketing alone. There is multi-billion-dollar businesses making $500 million a month off of just marketing. You have no idea how much money is in this world. And once you understand the core skill, the core framework, and once you understand how to get from point A to point B. This is when your world slowly starts to open up and be like, okay, cool. Once I understand this guy, I can then roll back and then go on to something else, because I understand this ICP or this ideal customer profile. Then that also gives me access to move on to the next one, who might be a similar customer. Like I said, HVAC, roofers, and concreters all have similar customers. It's like consultants and marketers. We essentially have similar marketers, similar ideal customers who we go for, because they are all within, let's just say, they're all within a bubble of each other. There's bubbles, and these people reach out the bubbles and they speak to more people. And then because they have some similarities, that allows us to slightly change that up, slightly change up how we actually perceive that, and allows us to go from point A to point B. That's the whole point of marketing. That is the best part of marketing. And obviously, as I said, I know I'm already going to be a billionaire by the age of like 25. I already know that. I've already put in more time, money, energy, and effort. You have no idea how much time, money, energy, and effort I have put into this business. There is no way I'm not going to be a billionaire by the age of 25. There is no way that I'm not going to be a billionaire by the age of 25, because I have put so much time, so much energy, so much effort into making sure this actually becomes a reality. That's the thing. Whereas a lot of the people that I see are like, my 9 to 5 is more than enough. Sweet. Okay. So that's also another thing. If you want to get up to that billionaire status, you also got to compete with other billionaires. You also got to compete with other people who know the game better than what you do. You have to compete with people who hire specialists within these certain type of fields. So let's just say, if I was to hire a YouTube specialist who knows everything about YouTube, who knows literally everything, but who understands, okay, cool, if I slightly tweak this, this is how it's going to happen. If I slightly tweak this, this is how it's going to happen. Because I am also hiring a guy for YouTube in one of my back end things. You guys don't even need to know about it, but I've just got a few connections for a few YouTube guys. But yeah, that's the thing. You guys have to understand that once you get up to that certain level, once you get up to that billionaire status, you are hiring people who know every little intricate detail of what you do, how you do it. And they're literally just nerds of whatever field, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's content creation, whether it's X, Y, Z, I don't really care. These are people who know, if I say one word slightly wrong, if I phrase it with the wrong tone, say it in the wrong tonality, say it like this, say it like that. This is when then the money's going to flow for the certain character, for the certain like ideal customer, and then this word is going to slightly turn them off. So it's all these little intricate details that matter, and this is why what I say. Once you get up to that millionaire, once you get up to that billionaire status, you're hiring people who literally know every little thing in the game. And honestly, like I said, I know I'm already mentally there. I've already got the mindset for it. I've already done the investments. I'm already doing everything. I'm just waiting for everything to catch up. That is the difference. Every time when I thought I'd never have the money, I have somehow found a way. Every time when I had no idea what I was doing, I ended up finding a way. Like even for like my current coach now, like I was like, fuck, I've got no money on me. How the fuck am I going to figure it out? Then I figured out my own way in like literally 2 days. I have only ever twice fallen flat on my face. That was for a 70k and also for a 30k. So yeah, it's like seriously, I'm only 20. And if a 20-year-old can find thousands of dollars in the matter of like moments, what does that tell you? What does that say that you need to then go from there? What does that tell you that when you say, hey, I can't afford rent, what does that tell you? I've already been there. In one of the last houses that I was living in, I had times when I'm like, oh fuck, I can't afford rent. Oh fuck. So I had to figure out a way how to do that. As I said, every single time but twice, I have been able to do that. Every single time but twice, I have been able to do that. What does that tell you? I'm hungry. I want, certain outcomes to happen. I want, this, and this. Like, I even know what my dream life looks like. I already know what my life looks like as a multi-trillionaire. It's like billionaire status. That ain't even much. I know, especially coming from all you people who are like, oh, I can't even get $500. Well, I know, come on. You and I both know you could come up with 10 grand if you needed it tomorrow. You and I both know, no matter where you are in the world, let's just say if someone was just like to throw you in the middle of the desert, strip you naked, this skill of marketing would literally help you to literally find $10,000 in the matter of 2 deals. Imagine if I told you that. Or with my skill set, I can find like literally like 7, 10, 15, 20 grand in the matter of no time. Like my first video to YouTube was literally 25 grand and I had no idea what I was actually doing. That's the thing though. That is the thing. And it's like you people are like, okay, cool. I need to learn this thing. But also another thing you people need to realize is that skills end up paying the bills, and this will actually allow you to get the freedom and the life that you've always been chasing. So you don't have to feel like you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall being like, I don't know, I'm just literally like, you know, throwing blind darts, hoping something's going to happen. No. You people have to understand is that once you have the right skills in place, once you have the right skill set, once you have the right network, you'll never ever going to have to worry about money ever again. That's the thing. You're never going to have to worry about money again. So yeah, the thing though, you can't just think like a billionaire out of nowhere. You need to actually create the right mindset and see how the world will actually treat you. So watch this video over here, and this will show you how you can actually build up your belief system and your thought patterns to think like a billionaire, and how the world will actually end up treating you after that.